が聞こえないし、音がないよ。
You gotta go restroom first?
No, I was already.
You did? Okay.
Four things.
Okay.
Yeah. We were
at least 2 years. Not this year, right? But you're still going good. Oh, right. I do. In the kitchen. I don't think she does it anymore, but she used to. Every day I'm like, oh, I better start cooking this.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's service here in Watsonville. This is our end of April and we've just begun in-person services, so there's still adjustments that have to be made. The past 2 years, I've been doing services in front of a camera. And now, as I do a service, I have to make sure that everything is in its proper place. I have to make sure I have pants on. I have to make sure everything is good from not only the waist up, but every part of me. So it takes a little bit of adjustment and getting used to. And also, because we are doing in-person services, I have to do all the things that our minister's assistants used to help me with. Setting up the hygiene, hitting the concho, the bell outside. And as I was hitting the bell, I was thinking about how now many of the temples are going back to in-person services. And so throughout the United States now, at 10 o'clock, on the West Coast, 10 o'clock, the con show is being run, people are gathering together and celebrating return to the temples. So as we gather, we're not alone. We are with thousands of other people who are gathering at the same time to hear the Dharma. So thank you very much for attending this morning. I'd like to begin with an opening reading. If you please join me in Gassho. If one utters Namo Amida Butsu, which surpasses all other virtues, all of his heavy sins of the 3 periods will surely be altered and become light. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. This morning's sutra chanting will begin with the Sammujo on page 23 of the large purple service book, followed by the Sambutsuge on page 77. Namandas, namandas, namandas. 门小嘎口袋安，我的结果开满小间，三麦七叶一头个么了，学校给我见代先人。小不知何开个渐渐那，可我爱在么呀有个呢，세 소녀么念那西西，见到个么了个更高来。七叶见有公有一手，见到乃生安阿萨不知乃小火阿多小吉，弥不给大智不生教义。海念小见鸟在山脉，七叶一叫我谁都不知，不要西安一塞个一沙那样个西不知。呀个生那个满了了来小，学了我呀可要比赛，几多小不知不了个到，跟小不呀个一了我呀。小不世界不抗也，不学谁知道高妙细小，恩细小高个鸟在小间，一见难了了个啥不知。个个到那一个是奇妙，到叫在这个个鸟那样，你们多少啊多爱面，多那只一塞结果来笑。亲来之小教一道个个也那个安能个不信了，这个信小不是安那一小小有也不是上几么个了了西上，几个心要开了心机，小个到个就大了小见，天就不开。 Namo Amidavus. Namo Amidavus. Namo Amidavus. Namo Amidavus. Thank you. So nice to hear the chanting together of the sutras. Natsukashi, as they say in Japanese. I'd like to ask you now to join me in the Gatha, Shinshu Shuka, page 216. Please rise. Page 216. If you please turn to page 10 and join me in the reading of Threefold Refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha, and we together with all sentient beings awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we together with all sentient beings enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we together with all sentient beings become units in true accord in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Sankhya-mo, Ninjin Pegatashi, Imasudani Yuku, Uko Kikigatashi, Imasudani Tiku, Kono Mikonjo ni Makate do Sezumba, Sarani Izune no Sho ni Kataka, Kono Miyo do Sen, Daishu Morotomo ni, Ishin ni Sammo ni Kieshi Tatematsu Deshi, Izukara Butsu ni Kieshi Tatematsu, Masani Legawaku wa Shijo to Tomo ni, Taido Taige Shite Mijo Yoko San, Izukara Ho ni Kieshi Tatematsu, Masani Legawaku wa Shijo to Tomo ni, Gaku Gyozo ni Ite Chie Imi no Gotoku Naran, Izukara Oso ni Kieshi Tatematsu, Masani Legawaku wa Shijo to Tomo ni, Daishu wo tori shite sai muge naran. Ujo jinjin yo no ho wa yaku sen mango ni mo ayo koto katashi. Orima kenmon shi yuji suru koto wa etari. Negawaku wa yunai no shinjitsu hi ogeshi takematsu. Nammandarus, nammandarus, nammandarus. Thank you. Please be seated. Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's service. The threefold refuge, it says, it talks about relying on Amrita, relying on the Guru, relying on the Dharma, the Sangha. And what this means is that we are relying on Amrita because of our imperfect self. None of us are perfect. We all have imperfections. When I was doing services online, it became obvious to me that I don't have a wonderful singing voice. I thought for years I had a wonderful singing voice. And then I have to hear myself, just me singing and listening to the video after. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm off key. I have a terrible singing voice. And I guess that's the wonderful thing about karaoke. Everybody sounds good. Everybody thinks they're good when you do karaoke. So I apologize to all of you for my terrible singing voice that you have to listen to and bear with. But you have to accept both sides, the good and the bad, right? The whole thing. So the illusion that I was having a great singing voice is my illusion, and I am shown the reality of that my voice is not very good. In singing, especially. So today I want to talk about how we have to accept both sides of not only ourselves, but of others as well, or experiences that we may have. We have to accept both sides. So as you know, or you may not know, but I like to golf. I love golfing. So I try to go golf once a week. And at my age, my golf is getting worse and worse. It hasn't gotten any easier. So I think it's not my golf, it's my golf clubs. So I need to go buy new golf clubs. However, I know that that's kind of the illusion. It's not the reality. I'm the one that's swinging it. I'm the one that's hitting the ball. However, I still love the game. And I continue to play and enjoy it, no matter how good or how bad I play. When I play golf. What I enjoy most when I play golf is the company of others, because we laugh, we joke around, we have a great time. This last week, I played at the San Jose Buddhist Temple, had a fundraiser, a golf tournament. So I played in a foursome with 3 other ministers. And so there are 4 ministers in this one group. And it was the most boring group you could imagine. There was no laughter, there was no joking until I started to laugh and joke. And then all the other ministers started to, I think, relax a little bit. And we were laughing at how we begged the ball to go faster, to go further, to go in the hole, go, 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 stop, stop, stop. That's how you golf, right? You talk to the ball. And it was fun. We were laughing. However, there was one guy in the group who shall remain nameless, minister, who was having a really hard time. He was really frustrated. And he stopped laughing. He stopped joking. He was kind of banging his clubs on the ground, really frustrated. So the next day, I sent him an email and I said, hey, do you want to play next week? We're getting together to play, some of us. So he said to me that he's taking a break from golf, that he got so frustrated at that tournament that he's going to take a break. So I told him, you don't take a break, just keep at it. You're getting better and better. And he said, it's no fun for me anymore. And I said, well, yeah, I can understand that. If it's not fun anymore, then maybe you do need to take a break and recenter yourself. But human nature is a funny thing, isn't it? We play games like golf. We hope we can control everything about it. And when things don't go our way, we get frustrated, we get mad, we're unhappy. So as I said, we talk to the ball, we talk to the thing. And so we get frustrated and upset when things don't go our way, when the ball doesn't go in the hole. I had a chance to hit a birdie at that tournament. Maybe this far. I hit the ball and it rolled around the cup. And everybody says, oh, you should have had it. I said, yeah, I was robbed. I wasn't robbed. I just didn't hit the ball in the hole, right? But for some people, it gets really frustrating. They get upset when things don't go their way. In order to live peacefully, we need to accept everything that happens to us. In our teachings of Jolo Shenshu, the way of living is to accept both the good and the bad as part of life and stop trying to control the world. I was reading an article the other day how we human beings, we like to control things. And there's in Hawaii, there was an article about what's called invasive species. Hawaii is the most isolated island in the world. And late in the 19th century, in an attempt to control the rat population in Hawaii, in the sugarcane fields, they brought in mongoose. The mongoose was supposed to eradicate the rat population and help the farmers. But over the years, the mongoose did not do their job. They didn't eradicate the rats. Rat population didn't change. But the mongoose population, it grew and grew and grew until it started to affect the native plants, some of the nesting birds that are in the ground, some of the insects, some of the snails and palm trees, and it started to change the environment of Hawaii. And there are many other examples of how man tries to control the world through inserting species. In California, the list is long, the number of invasive species that come into the state and have changed the world, changed our state, excuse me. So there are negative effects to our trying to control things. We see our inability to see things as they are. We don't see how limited we are. And thankfully, though, Amida accepts us, even in our limitations. So there's an old Buddhist story that teaches us about seeing both sides of the coin. Real quickly share this with you. So a long time ago, in a village in China, there lived a man who believed in good fortune, bad fortune. And one day, a beautiful, well-dressed woman came walking into his home, or walking to his home. And the man said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I am the goddess of wealth. I will bring wealth and good luck wherever I visit." So the man was so happy. He was delighted. He had this goddess visiting him, the goddess of good luck. So he gave her a warm welcome and he treated her nicely, welcomed her into his home. Soon after, another woman came to his door. In contrast to the goddess of wealth, she was unattractive, she was poorly dressed, and her clothes were worn out and very dirty. The man asked, "Who are you?" "I am the goddess of poverty. I will bring poverty and bad luck wherever I go." So the man was really unhappy that she had come to his house, and he tried to chase her away. But then the goddess of poverty said, "How foolish you are. The goddess of wealth is my sister, and my sister and I always live together, we come together. We cannot be separated. If you kick me out, my sister will go with me." So this man was surprised at her words, and he asked the goddess of wealth, "Is she really your sister?" And the goddess of wealth said, "Yes, she is. I'm always with my sister. We have never been separated. Wherever we visit, I give benefit to the house, and my sister gives loss to the house. When I give good fortune, my sister gives misfortune. If you respect me and treat me nicely, you should do so to my sister too." And then the sisters disappeared. Well, this story tells us that the two, good fortune, bad fortune, they're inseparable. They're two sides of the same coin. Birth comes with death, rain comes with sunshine. But we tend to pursue the good fortune and avoid bad fortune, so-called bad fortune. When it occurs, we become upset and we avoid the situation. In truth, there is no good or bad fortune. There is just life unfolding itself before us. And we have to learn to accept both sides of the coin. So we cannot control what we wish to. To accept them on an equal basis is hard. And when we react positively or we react negatively, we see ourselves clearly at that moment. We see the inability to see things as they are. We see our limitations. So whether it's on the golf course or at home or in your garden or in the world that we live, we see ourselves through our action, through our response to these experiences. But thankfully, Amida Buddha understands us. Amida Buddha accepts us just as we are, even though we have this inability to see things clearly. Thank you very much. Please join me in Darshan. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Share with you the many are showing us ownership. Shonen Michiru no Kanke no Momoki wa Kin no Mote Hunto Serare Solo Sono Yue wa Horomono no Zogyo Nageste Ishin ni Midani Kimyo Serebo Ashigi no Gandeki Toshito no Katayori Ojo wa Ijo Shimetamo Sono Kurai Chien Hoki New Shojo Shijutomo Shatushi Soeno Shomyo Rendu Aiwaga Ojo Satame Tamai Onho Jinno Rendu Godo Kinari Anakashiko Anakashiko. Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinju. The reason is that by abandoning all of the practices, completely entrusting ourselves in the Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinji. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude Amita's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I read Namandams. Just before we close, I'd like to make a couple of announcements. Next week on May 1st, there'll be no in-person services. I'm sorry, but it'll be online as usual. The week after that, we will, and the rest of the month, we'll have in-person services. And then don't forget that on Memorial Day weekend, we'll be visiting the cemeteries, Pioneer, Pajaro, and San Juan Bautista. Sorry, that's on the Saturday. This Sunday. And then on May 8th, we will observe our Botai service and also May Shotsky Holy service. At the end of the service today, we have the flowers on the 19th that we'd like to share with you. So if you like flowers, please stick around for a few minutes and we'll get them packaged up for you. If you please now rise and join me in the Gatha Ondok Psalm 2, page 220. To the Buddha, the light of your face is unsurpassed in thy majesty. Your awesome greatness is beyond the brightly shining flame with no equal. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated. This will conclude our services for today. Thank you very much for your attendance and kind attention. And don't forget, we do have flowers if you'd like to take some of those. And you're welcome to come forward and show. Thank you very much. Yeah.